You laughed with them. You grew up with them. But do you really know how they died? Some passed quietly. Others suffered far more than we ever knew. Mayberry may feel timeless, but it's cast-faced heartbreak the world never saw. This isn't just a tribute. It's what came after the final laugh. And it begins with the man who wore the badge and hid a broken heart. Stay with us. The truth is more heartbreaking than you remember. 1. Andy Griffith, Andy Taylor. His heart stopped on a quiet summer day. But to us, Andy Taylor never left. He made you believe Mayberry was real, that a soft-spoken sheriff could fix the world with a quiet nod and a walk by the lake. But behind that calm smile, Andy Griffith hid storms no one ever saw. He was the picture of trust, of fatherly strength. Yet in real life, Andy carried anxieties and doubts he rarely spoke of. Like many great performers, he knew how to give peace to others, even when he couldn't always find it himself. On July 3, 2012, at the age of 86, his heart gave out. No final monologue, no dramatic farewell, just silence. But his legacy? It speaks louder than words. Andy Griffith wasn't just a role, he was a reminder that kindness is power, that quiet strength is still strength, and that sometimes the people who carry us carry burdens of their own. 2. Don Knotts, Barney Fife. Nip it in the bud. That voice, high-pitched, frantic, unforgettable, still lives in the minds of anyone who ever heard it. Barney Fife was comedy chaos, bottled up in a trembling deputy uniform, and Don Knotts made that chaos a work of art. 5 Emmys, countless reruns, laughter that spans generations. But when the camera stopped, so did the mask. Don was anxious, isolated, unsure. The man who made nerves look hilarious and quietly fought his own, alone. On February 24, 2006, at 81 years old, he left us complications from cancer and pneumonia. No punchline, no curtain call. Just a silence that felt heavier than we expected. If Don ever made you laugh, hit that like button. Let's keep the memory going. 3. Frances Bavier, Aunt B. She died alone in Siler City, far from the spotlight. No family, no press, just an empty house and a memory few knew was fading. Frances Bavier, the woman we all called Aunt B, had given America its television matriarch, strict, loving, the heart of Mayberry. But in real life, she found comfort not in people, but in distance. She chose quiet, even isolation. Many who knew her said she struggled with fame. Others said she simply gave all her love on screen and had none left to give off it. She passed away on December 6, 1989, at 86. Heart failure. But her legacy didn't fail. Because every time a pie is baked with care, or a stern hug means I love you, Aunt B is still in the room. 4. Jim Nabors, Gomer Pyle. Golly! The world smiled. But his real life? Much quieter and far more courageous. Jim Nabors played the lovable fool, wide-eyed, slow-talking, sweet to his core. But behind the naive grin was a man who battled serious illness and a lifetime of hiding his truth. He endured a risky liver transplant, faced heart problems, and for decades kept his love life private in a world not ready to accept it. Only in later life did he openly embrace who he was and find peace. He passed on November 30, 2017, at 87. But Gomer Pyle's voice and Jim's quiet bravery still resonate today. Because some heroes don't shout, they smile and stay kind no matter what. 5. Hal Smith, Otis Campbell. TV's most beloved drunk was actually a teetotaler with a voice that shaped your childhood. Hal Smith gave us Otis, the hilarious town drunk who locked himself in jail. But off-screen, Hal didn't drink. He didn't stumble. He built worlds with his voice. Behind Otis stood a man who voiced characters for Disney, Hanna-Barbera, and Saturday morning cartoons you grew up with. He was everywhere, even if you didn't know it. Hal died of a heart attack on January 28, 1994, at 77. No headlines, no tributes. But every time a child laughed at a goofy cartoon, or someone chuckled at Otis wobbling into jail, Hal was there, still giving joy. Drop your favorite Mayberry memory below. Let's keep the porch light on for them. 6. Betty Lynn, Thelma Lou. She brought calm to Barney's chaos, and left this world with the same quiet grace. Thelma Lou was patience, smiles, steadiness, and Betty Lynn was no different. While others chased fame, she chose simplicity. Her career spanned decades, but she stayed out of scandal, away from spotlight. In real life, she gave fans exactly what she gave Barney: kindness without condition. On October 16, 2021, she passed peacefully in her sleep at 95. The world barely noticed, but Mayberry felt it. Because gentle souls like hers don't need to shout to be remembered. 7. Howard McNear, Floyd the Barber. His speech was odd. His hands barely moved, but he made millions laugh while fighting to move at all. Floyd rambled. He'd lose his train of thought mid-sentence, and somehow that made him magic. But actor Howard McNear, he was barely holding on. After suffering a massive stroke, he returned to the show half paralyzed. Watch closely, he's almost always seated. Yet he delivered lines with impeccable timing, defying the odds. He passed away on January 3, 1969, just a few years after leaving the show. But Floyd's laugh and Howard's bravery still ripple through every barbershop in small-town America. 8. George Lindsey, Goober Pyle. I didn't know his real name at first. To me, he was just Goober, the guy with the hat too big for his head and a grin too big for the room. He wasn't polished like Andy, not funny like Barney, not sweet like Opie, but he felt so real, like someone I'd actually run into at the gas station. The kind of guy who'd fix your car and ask how your mom was doing and mean it. Later, I learned his name was George Lindsey, that he kept playing Goober long after the show ended for charity events, reunions, VA hospitals. He gave quietly. He passed away in 2012, aged 83. Most newspapers gave him a paragraph. But to me, he's still pumping gas somewhere, wiping his hands, telling Andy, "I checked the carburetor. It just needed a little heart." Which of these stories surprised you most? Tell us below and let's keep their memory alive. Though many have left us, their laughter lingers, their values endure, and their stories keep finding new hearts. They gave us Mayberry, not just a town, but a feeling. A place where kindness mattered, and quiet moments meant everything. They may be gone, but their voices still echo in the quiet. Their smiles still flicker in black and white reruns. And their lessons? They live in us in how we treat each other, and in what we choose to remember. They reminded us of home, even if we'd never been there. And now they rest in memory. But what a beautiful place that is. If one of them ever touched your life, tell someone, share a laugh, keep their light alive. Drop your favorite Mayberry memory below. Let's keep the porch light on for them.